Look, DJ Vlad responds to young Jeezy allegedly snitching on Big Meech, BMF. Let's get into the content, fam.
It's probably one of the most unique ways that I've ever seen somebody get exposed for snitching. But basically, there was an FBI agent who made a TikTok talking about a case that he was involved with many years ago. And we could play the clip if you'd like. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the guy's name because he's pretty famous. And to be fair, he was never charged with a crime. But we had these two rappers in Atlanta in the early 2000s, and they were beefing with each other, trading diss tracks, the whole thing. Then rapper number one, the famous one, orders his goons to go beat up rapper number two and steal this gaudy gold and diamond necklace he wore in all of his videos, and that's where it got interesting. The goon squad shows up at rapper number two's place. He pulls a gun and starts shooting. One of the attackers gets hit, makes it about 200 yards away from the house before he drops dead. Rapper number two is arrested for murder, but it's dismissed as self-defense. And the real criminal here is rapper number one, who ordered the violent act that got his man killed. I had the phone records and two witnesses prepared to testify for what would have been a rock-solid RICO murder case. But for reasons that were never explained to me, the U.S. Attorney's Office declined prosecution, and rapper number one went on to have a phenomenally successful career. Oh well, win some, lose some.
So basically, the allegation is that
he's talking about Jeezy and Gucci,
right? And Blue Da Vinci has kind of confirmed as well that there was this sort of like eerie switch up from Jeezy, where when the BMF takedown went down, that Jeezy at that point like ceased to have anything to do with BMF, never communicated with any of them ever after that. And so he's basically saying that they had, in his opinion, a rock solid case against Jeezy for the Gucci situation in which Pookie Loc got killed, but that was never pursued by the FBI, and that his best guess is basically that it was in exchange for Jeezy supplying information about BMF.
I missed that last part.
Okay, yeah.
Where is that last part?
You kind of need to connect the dots with like prior videos. There's like a Blue Da Vinci video where he goes into depth about how he feels very strongly that Jeezy snitched. And so that guy kind of like puts the details of it together of what his incentive to do so might have been, since Jeezy was the only one associated with BMF that basically ended up getting to skate free.
Well, what about there was multiple guys that went into that house?
Yeah, and I interviewed one of them, Young Throwback, who claimed that Gucci Mane, or I interviewed the guy who claims that he's the one who pulled the trigger and killed Pookie Loc.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Pookie Loc was with someone else. He wasn't by himself.
Yeah, it was like two people that ran inside the crib.
So maybe the people who were cooperating were the two people that were part of the home invasion, and they were going to cooperate against Jeezy. You see what I'm saying? That's what I kind of implied from that.
The reason people think that this guy's implying that Jeezy actually did it, because in the comments, the two comments that he actually replied to was someone saying that the theory of the reason that Jeezy never got locked up was because of him providing evidence to the feds about the BMF shit. And that the guy who made this TikTok, he liked that theory, and then he's like, interesting theory. So people just speculating that that's why. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not like really just.
Look, I don't know who that guy is that made that TikTok. Let's just be honest, we don't even know if he was really part of the federal government. We don't know if he's a federal entity. Let's just be honest, let's just be real. But I'm calling bullshit cap on this whole story. Jeezy ain't no rat. Yeah, Jeezy ain't no rat. You might want to say, we could say he was scared straight when he seen where it was leading to, you know what I mean? But come on, man, even Blue Da Vinci let a nigga know Jeezy just wasn't with the shit. He wanted to be a rapper. They found Jeezy sleeping in his car outside of the the stripping house. You know what I mean? What they call it, porn house, not porn house, strip club, yeah. They found Jeezy sleeping outside at the strip club. All he ever wanted to do was get in the rap game, fam. Yeah, I'm calling cap on this whole shit. That ain't no news. The biggest news is Jeezy bringing Thug Motivation 101 with a 101-piece orchestra on a fucking road, fam. This is legendary. Why? He's making it a real hip-hop show for the people that remember how it used to be when everybody was really performing. When you go out and it was about a real performance that kept your attention rather than everybody jumping around and mosh pitting. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let's just be honest, let's just be real. Hip hop could be seen as well educated too, bro. You ain't got to make it look like you and grew up in the slums and all this other type of shit to make it or to put on the show. Look, shout out Young Jeezy. This is about Jeezy snitching on Meech. He didn't snitch on Meech. Everybody knows Southwest T fucked up. Southwest T fucked up. He didn't want to be part of the program no more. He took BMF to California and started his own shit, his own family, the Southwest Boys or something of the sort. The phones was tapped. That's why they was called. Man, stop the fucking cap when it come to Jeezy, man. Leave that man alone. Now, he ain't all right, but he ain't all wrong either. You know what I mean? He ain't never went bad. You know what I mean? That shit would have came out years ago. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. You don't think Big Meech would have been started talking about that shit? That would have been their money at this point. Right now, drop it in the comments, bro. Scores from the playground. Like, share, subscribe, nigga. Peace.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.